All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Today we have blockchain news number 11. I'm excited to bring you guys some more information regarding the crypto space and some of the news taking place right now. We do have Bitcoin at around 93.16 actually from CoinDesk, 176 Ethereum, 23 cents XRP, Bitcoin Cash at 384. We are seeing some green in the market again today. It's good to see Bitcoin actually breaking almost all the way up to 9,400. I think some articles were mentioning above 9,400, but right now I'm going to stick to that under 9,400 mark for Bitcoin. So excited to bring you guys some news. We have Uphold in the news today. We have Cardano. We have Backed. We got quite a lot to go over today. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Actually, let's take a look at Coin360. I like this website. I think I might just start using it for the videos. It's pretty interactive and stuff. I'm sure it's pretty popular in the crypto space, but I had forgotten completely about it. But just diving right into what we see, most of the market is green, right? We're seeing some upside. Bitcoin SV is actually on a pullback of about 1.59%. So it's in the red. We are going to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin SV also in this video and why it's swinging with this volatility in the green and the red and so on and so forth. But the volatility overall for the market is good. That's going to bring new traders, new people to get involved. So let's go ahead and jump into the news. We have volatility, illiquidity threatens BSV, newfound position. So this was what we were going to cover about BSV. It's currently up at the 5th largest cryptocurrency by market cap, but we know that BSV can shoot up from over 6% in a 10-minute period, 22 hours later be up 139%. So it went from 196 to 458 on January 14th, and then the next day on the 15th, it went from 458 to 278. So that just goes to show how quickly it can move up and down. But the thing is that speculation was around Craig Wright receiving his keys for the 1.1 million Bitcoins that he claims to have locked up. Everybody was anticipating Craig Wright to sell off his Bitcoin holdings over the market in favor of BSV. But then, you know, we really haven't seen that take place. So essentially, BSV is just more vulnerable to major price swings, right? Because there's no lack of depth in the order book in these smaller exchanges. So currently, the trading volume for BSV remains relatively thin compared to the other top 10 cryptos in the past 30 days. So BSV, you know, it is in the top 10, and I know it's been in the top coins for a bit, but it's important to keep a note that its volume remains pretty low. So if you are going to be trading this coin, be careful. Again, not financial advice, but you know what I'm seeing from the volatility with this coin, it would be important to keep that in mind. Single orders in its shallow order books have a large impact on BSV's price. So pretty much what we took a look at there. Next up, we do have Bitcoin cracks 9,400 to reach nearly 3-month high in Asia driven rally. So it's interesting because this article is mentioning Asia being involved. And right now, in less than 5 minutes, it rose from 9150 to 9400 on the 28th. And the rally looks like it was Asia driven because the Chinese equity markets reopening for the holidays have been delayed due to the coronavirus. The traders are itching for activity, may have set their eyes on the 24/7 crypto markets in the meantime. So that may or may not be true, but either way, what matters is that Bitcoin is at the current level and it seems to be on a bullish trend. A steady wave of shocks, including Iran turmoil, US political strife, and now coronavirus destabilizing the public markets is pushing investors to seek alternative shelters for capital. Moving on to the next one, we do have Uphold introduces commission-free trading for users. So Uphold is now removing fees for customers funding their accounts with a credit or debit card. In addition to removing fees, the company announced a new feature allowing customers to trade directly between any two supported assets on the platform in real time. And it's currently available in 182 countries around the world. It's supporting 27 cryptos, and 29 fiat currencies. So Uphold is on the up and up. Next up, we have IBM awarded patent for SelfAware Token. They received a patent from the US for SelfAware Token that can record its own transaction data. The concept makes it possible to create a complete life cycle for tokens that can include data on the payment location and amounts transacted, as well as any information regarding previous token holders. Obviously, this doesn't really, sound enticing to a lot of us crypto holders or us believers of the current crypto space, right? We like to have some form of privacy, and this would definitely make things more transparent for this specific crypto. So such a system would constitute a significant improvement to the art of financial data processing. I think this would be very useful if it was implemented with governments, right, where currencies are being used for emergencies, and we don't want to see fraud take place. So we don't want to see that money disappear out of the blue like we've seen before in major events that take place throughout the world. And when funding goes to those areas, that money can just, disappear, or it just doesn't make it there, or it's not used the way that it was supposed to. So e-currencies could operate across disparate economic systems, fostering easier participating alongside sovereign currencies and other non-standard currencies. So IBM trying to move on their way, and they had actually in August received a patent for a blockchain-based web browser that could protect user privacy. So these two are kind of contradicting, right? This new article with the SelfAware token, and then their patent for the blockchain browser. So next up, we do have one of the world's richest firms joins blockchain trade platform backed after 5M investment. So that's VAKT, not backed. The oil giant Saudi Aramco has made a $5 million investment on VAKT, again backed, a commodities post-trade processing platform based on blockchain tech. So leveraging blockchain theory and applying it to the complicated world of post-trade processing, VAKT has made a compelling pitch to become an integral part of market infrastructure. So pretty interesting to kind of see these oil giants like Saudi Aramco get involved with these blockchain investments. So it looks like different people from different spaces are really realizing that cryptocurrency and blockchain are really the way to go for the future. Next up, we have Cardano inching closer to the smart contract implementation with new paper. Basically, they described their new smart contract model in preparation for the release of Goguen. This was released on the 27th. The extended UTXO model was specifically designed as an improvement on Bitcoin's pure UTXO architecture. They go into more detail here on the technicalities, but to enable more powerful smart contracts in the UTXO model, the researchers introduced mechanisms that can split the execution of a smart contract into multiple transactions. In Cardano's model, each transaction output will also have a data field, which can contain arbitrary information connected to a particular smart contract. In addition, the system ensures that a particular chain of outputs uses the same contract code and concept called contract continuity. So pretty interesting there. The current state that we're in for Cardano is Shelly. That's a current era, which focuses on staking, and the testnet did launch in December. The next era is Goguen, the smart contracts, and that's expected to be completed on Q1 2020. The remaining phases are expected by the end of 2020 for Cardano's completion of development. So again, we know that Cardano does not like to keep by any timelines. They like to take their time. Other projects are moving. We have Ethereum, we have other blockchains, and cryptocurrency moves pretty fast. But, hey, Cardano is on its way. Next up, we have Paris Saint-Germain FC launches crypto voting scheme for fans. So they just launched, the Germain Football Club has just launched a crypto token that allows fans to vote on a number of different aspects of the football club. The tokens will be available in a Pokemon Go style app called Socios and give fans a direct voice in club decisions. This app will allow the club to bring in 78 million fans to participate and vote on decisions made by the team. So that is very, very cool to see that integration that this application is going to bring, right? And it's going to be a tokenized concept. So moving further along, we did see, it did mention up here that the Chiliz, I believe, Chiliz is the company behind the Socios app, and it's actually based in Malta. So I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop on that. We do have also the American football star and former Super Bowl champion Russell Okung has been one of the most outspoken professional athletes to voice his support of crypto. He went viral after requesting to be paid in Bitcoin and advocates frequently for the cryptocurrency. So it looks like crypto and sports might just be the next big thing, guys. So keep that in mind. We have crypto in sports, we have crypto in gaming, right? So these two markets I think are going to be very fun for people. So keep an eye on projects with those two. BTC HODL target found. Almost 50% of people say that they will sell if Bitcoin price reaches 100K, guys. So a poll that took place here by Chris Dunn to ask people directly, hey, what will you do with your long-term position if Bitcoin hits 100K? Almost 50% said that they would sell some or all for fiat. And it was actually interesting. 20% said that they would HODL everything. This voting took place with 1,719 people. And yeah, it's actually interesting because the late 2019 poll was carried out by Binance Life, and it showed 23% of people do not intend to sell their Bitcoin holdings at all. In Dunn's poll, we saw 20.8%. If Bitcoin reaches 100K, they're not selling, they're gonna HODL. So 20% is a pretty high number, right, of Bitcoin hodlers. So keep that in mind. If we do see some kind of pullback at 100K, once Bitcoin hits that, and it's because people are selling off, you know, are you going to be the one to sell also, or are you going to be the one to HODL? I think I'm going to HODL, guys. I'm going to HODL all the way. So next up, we have BAC's president. The days of unregulated Bitcoin derivatives exchanges won't last forever. So BAC just, the CEO here, or president, just got kind of vocal in regards to unregulated markets, right? We've seen unregulated markets in the derivative space like BitMEX, Bybit, and other leading crypto margin exchanges that, you know, require very little KYC, no AML. And basically he's just saying that regulators are not going to stand for this, especially in the US. I think these are not going to hold for a very long time. I think that regulators will get in the way. But for now, he is claiming that BAC is the world's first and fully integrated, regulated end-to-end market when it comes to the price discovery of Bitcoin. They have a regulated custody, regulated exchange trading, and regulated clarity. And all that good stuff, you know, sounds great for all the people that, you know, coming from stocks and stuff. I think that's really what BAC is for. It's for those older investors that are kind of wary of getting into a market that's not regulated. Some of us are a little bit more risky, so we like to move on ahead. But I think the days are also counted from my perspective. I think, you know, countries are going to start stopping any kind of lending margin trades taking place. So on exchanges that are not being regulated the way that they should be. So right now we have some help from Senator Kelly Loeffler. She's currently in the US Senate, and she's working her butt off to, you know, educate people in the Senate with crypto and let them know how this can solve problems, right? So we're getting positive news, honestly, from every corner, honestly, when it comes to, you know, potential legislation, you know, Bitcoin price movements, market movement, honestly, as a whole. And Backed has actually, they haven't specified what their next product is going to be, but there's speculation that it could possibly be Ethereum contracts. So I would just say the more the merrier, you know, because that will bring more institutional investors also in the space. Next up, we do have Ethereum XRP and Bitcoin Cash tax refunds now available to US citizens through Refundo. So it's pretty interesting, guys. They're expanding. At first it was just Bitcoin, and now you have Ethereum, you have XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and you can get your tax refunds in that payment, right? It's a pretty quick way to not have to go into fiat directly, outside of just, you know, obviously if you got to pay taxes and whatnot. But it launched last April with Bitcoin alone, and now they're already implementing to 3 other currencies. So yeah, they're using a service called CoinRT to establish these transactions, and it's going to be handled in the back end, right? The customer is going to receive their tax return, and then in the background, BitPay will essentially just seamlessly swap it over into crypto. So that's going to be pretty cool to see. And moving on to the next piece of news, we have Bitcoin IRA cracks major milestone with 400 million in crypto transactions. So Bitcoin IRA has announced a new record high of crossing 400 million since the company's launch in 2016. Bitcoin IRA, which bills itself as the world's first and largest digital asset IRA platform, has also integrated biometric security, which uses facial recognition for customer authentication. Bitcoin was the best performing asset of the decade, outperforming the S&P 500, and continues to attract new investors for those who are planning for their retirement. So interesting, guys. More people are taking Bitcoin seriously to the point that they want to get their 401ks, right, and IRAs set up with Bitcoin. So they plan to have more products launch in 2020. That should also help the company's growth. So that's going to be pretty cool. I wonder what other cryptos they can apply. Next up, we have Siscoin launches fully decentralized bridge with Ethereum. So this piece of news is saying that Siscoin is utilizing the ZDAG, Zero Confirmation Directed Acyclic Graph Network, a cutting-edge blockchain tech. It is being used to have to take out that middleman centralized exchanges that are swapping your coins from Ethereum to Siscoin. So the protocol launched at block 348,000 ERC20. Tokens were able to be crossed over to the Siscoin ecosystem natively. And that's going to remove these exchanges, right, where you may have to do KYC, AML, custody, high fees, and other things like that. So as we keep moving through the year, guys, already January 28th, 29th, you know, for some people, this is interesting news just in a month. So much news that we've gotten. And it looks like direct swaps to the ERC20 versions of USDT and DAI are now available also for Siscoin. So pretty cool achievement there for their protocol. Next up, we have nearly 93.5 million XRP sent between crypto exchanges. Article here is asking, is Ripple IPO news causing this? Since that announcement, we've seen, or that discussion by Brad Garlinghouse, we've seen quite a lot take place with people transacting different amounts of XRP. So we have Coincheck, Bitstamp, and BitHum, as well as one anonymous crypto wallet. So just, you know, keep an eye on this, guys. I'm just reporting it for you guys. I'm not going to take sides right now in regards to what I think. Do I think that people are moving XRP because of the whole IPO idea and how they are probably changing their minds day to day? I think so. But I don't necessarily see it as a negative for XRP or a positive. I don't know how this is going to play out. We've never seen a company do this, right? Where they have so much support, they're in the top 3, and then now they want to go back into the stock concept for the company. So, you know, we could it's a discussion we can have for an hour, but we will just have to see how this plays out. Next up, we do have XRPL Labs launching Zoom Pro, 40% of users ready to buy it. So Zoom is a digital payments app that launched with XRPL, or the XRP ledger. One of the developers, last name Wind, told the community that the team is considering adding some more pro features to the Zoom app, crypto payments app, and wallet in one. A poll said about 40% of users were willing to pay for the pro version. The Zoom app is based on the XRP ledger, and it has already been tested by a closed circle of devs. Users won't be forced into a paid subscription, and they're also not going to withhold premium features or features that should go into the application to try to force people to go into the premium model. Describing the things that the team may add to Zoom Pro, the dev speaks of push notifications to notify users of receipt of XRP, premium node access, etc. So, notifications of users receiving XRP is a big difference from premium node access. It's kind of a couple different levels there. So we're going to see how this is going to play out. There's excitement in the XRP community for it. And, 40% of people said they want to support the team. I wouldn't support anybody that I don't see products come from and be sustainable for for at least a few months. But they did bring XRP Tipbot and XRP Parrot. So that's why it seems like people are pretty supportive of the Zoom Pro idea. Next up, we do have Fearing Revolt. Roger Ver's Bitcoin.com backs down from proposed BCH mining tax. So due to them being afraid that this may cause a chain split that would really deviate or separate the community from their initial goal with Bitcoin Cash, they are rejecting the proposed mining tax. That is what they stated. They also have, we will be working to come up with a plan that is profitable for all the relevant parties and which preserves the fundamental economics of Bitcoin Cash. So when this had taken place, right, when they had mentioned the announcement at the beginning, there was a lot of controversy because the proposal included orphaning non-compliant miners, which is a practice of removing blocks from the chain that resembles a 51% attack. So it's good to see such a quick response from Bitcoin.com's position on this proposal. And it seems like maybe Bitcoin Cash will not have to deal with any of this and it could just carry on. But of course, did this news seem like it inspired Charlie Lee to pitch his own miners? That miners should donate 1% of their rewards to development on January 24th. And we did discuss that in some of the previous videos. But that's all I have for you guys today. So this one was kind of a shorter one. There wasn't that much news going on today, really. We did have big pieces of news here and there, but all in all, it was a good day for news. We're going to be covering more news tomorrow again, guys. So just stay locked here with the Blockchain Activist. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Sub to the channel. Comment down below if you want to share anything. And I'll see you guys on the next one.